We light this chalice to practice inner peace, share love for each other, faith in ourselves, and also to be welcoming to whomever we meet and kind to all living creatures.
Hi. What is my friends? What is my friends? Good morning, how are you? How are you? Very well, thank you, very well, thank you. And you, and you. Buenos días, ¿cómo estás? ¿Cómo estás? Yo muy bien, gracias, yo muy bien, gracias. ¿Y usted? ¿Y usted? Good afternoon, how are you? How are you? Very well, thank you, very well, thank you. And you? And you. Buenas tardes, ¿cómo estás? ¿Cómo estás? Yo muy bien, gracias, yo muy bien, gracias. ¿Y usted? ¿Y usted? Good evening, how are you? How are you? Very well, thank you, very well, thank you. And you? And you. Buenas noches, ¿cómo estás? ¿Cómo estás? Yo muy bien, gracias, yo muy bien, gracias. ¿Y usted? ¿Y usted? ¿Y usted?
Good day. Today we're going to make seed starter pots out of objects you already have at home. We're going to take a toilet paper roll, which has been a very hot commodity recently, and start by carefully, with a parent or older sibling, cutting it in half. Once we have the two halves, we'll make 4 cuts about 1/3 of the way up, evenly spaced around the roll. I'm just giving it a 1/4 turn. So we see the cuts, and we'll fold them down like we close a box. One, and then the next going clockwise, pressing them down to kind of fold the creases of the corner or edges, and we end up with this cute little container with the bottom. Then we'll take some potting soil, and place it into our cup and press it down gently. And then last night we had yellow peppers, so I dried some seeds on the counter, and we're just going to place about 3 seeds per pod, giving them a little bit of room from each other. So I spread them out like a triangle shape. And then we're going to add just a little light dusting of soil over the top to cover our seeds, and then place them on a tray with a bottom so that we can water them. Keep them in a nice warm location with lots of sunlight. And then soon, in about 10 to 14 days, your little seed, with love and kept sprinkled with water, will grow into a beautiful plant. It'll start as a sprout. This here is some kale that we started about 2 weeks ago, and it's already looking healthy to go right into the ground in your garden. Happy and healthy eating. Good day.
Hi friends, today we're going to read The Kissing Hand, and it's a story about how we can carry our loved ones' love with us in our hearts wherever we go. So let's get started. The Kissing Hand by Audrey Penn, illustrations by Ruth E. Harper and Nancy M. Lee. Title page, okay. Chester Raccoon stood at the edge of the forest and cried. I don't want to go to school, he told his mother. I want to stay home with you. I want to play with my friends and play with my toys and read my books and swing on my swing. Please, may I stay home with you? There's Chester. He's sad. Mrs. Raccoon took Chester by the hand and nuzzled him on the ear. Sometimes we all have to do things we don't want to do, she told him gently, even if they seem strange and scary at first. But you will love school once you start. You'll make new friends and play with new toys, read new books, and swing on new swings. Besides, she added, I know a wonderful secret that will make your nights at school seem as warm and cozy as your days at home. Uh-oh, my pages are stuck. There we go. Chester wiped away his tears and looked interested. A secret? What kind of secret? A very old secret, said Mrs. Raccoon. I learned it from my mother, and she learned it from hers. It's called the kissing hand. The kissing hand? Asked Chester. What's that? I wonder what the kissing hand is. I'll show you, said Mrs. Raccoon. Mrs. Raccoon took Chester's left hand and spread open his tiny fingers into a fan. Leaning forward, she kissed Chester right in the middle of his palm. Mwah. Chester felt his mother's kiss rush from his hand, up his arm, and into his heart. Even his silky black mask tingled with a special warmth. Mrs. Raccoon smiled. Now, she told Chester, whenever you feel lonely and need a little loving from home, just press your hand to your cheek and think, Mommy loves you. Mommy loves you. And that very kiss will jump to your face and fill you with toasty, warm thoughts. She took Chester's hand and carefully wrapped his fingers around the kiss. Now do be careful not to lose it, she teased him. But don't worry, when you open your hand and wash your food, I promise the kiss will stick. Chester loved his kissing hand. Now he knew his mother's love would go with him wherever he went, even to school. There's her hand. He's feeling her love everywhere he goes that day. That night, Chester stood in front of his school and looked thoughtful. Suddenly, he turned to his mother and grinned. Give me your hand, he told her. What do you think Chester's going to do? Let's see. Chester took his mother's hand in his own and unfolded her large, familiar fingers into a fan. Next, he leaned forward and kissed the center of her hand. Now you have a kissing hand too, he told her, and with a gentle goodbye and I love you, Chester turned and danced away. Off to school he goes. Mrs. Raccoon watched Chester scamper across a tree limb and enter school. And as the hoot owl rang in the new school year, she pressed her left hand to her cheek and smiled. The warmth of Chester's kiss filled her heart with special words. Chester loves you, it sang. Chester loves you. So sometimes guardians, parents, right, they need a little kissing hand too because they miss us. And there Chester is having a good time at school with his friends. I love you, right? That's the universal symbol. The end. I hope you enjoyed that story. And remember, you can take your loved one's love with you wherever you go.
Welcome. I'd like to share an activity with you that can be easily made from home and as creative as you would like to get with items that you already have in your house. So I found a piece of paper and I've got a pen and some highlighters here in the office. You may have some special colored pencils or another medium that you like to work with when you make art. But I was thinking this is a way that we can connect with our community, the neighbors, and people who pass by, maybe as a thank you to first responders in the medical field, people who are working in food services and shipping, anything that is keeping our community operating right now and all the time that we're just especially thankful for. So this also is a reminder that you are so important to our community and really make our Unity Temple family what it is. And so think of this as a way to enrich yourself and give to other people. And just consider the feelings you've been having right now of fear and grief, maybe some anger, and your hopes and your joys. And just give it a moment and think about what inspires you to get down on paper. So I was feeling like I need some extra color and wanted to make a rainbow. So that always is a kind of majestic opportunity. When you see a rainbow in the sky, it is a time to look up and appreciate the beauty and just pause for that moment. And so I'm making a rainbow on my paper. I'm gonna blend the highlighter colors in together. And you can do whatever inspires you. And then I made this sign for the window called Reaching Out in Love, which will be our summer theme for the Summer RE program this year. So I'm really excited to connect with you and share this with our wider community every Sunday for the next 12 weeks, just like Summer RE. And also anytime you'd like to log on to our YouTube channel, there's many stories and activities that you can see. So please post your picture that you make. Send us a photo, post it up so people can see it, and share what's on your heart as we all reach out in love together. Thank you. The flame is extinguished, but not our hope for the future, our courage in the face of crisis, or the love we share in the world. Blessed be. Namaste. Amen.